We are the Galactic Federation of Love and Light.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for calling.
Okay. I wanted to chat with you today about our true beings, and a lot of things have been making a lot more sense to me lately, the things that we've been teaching. So we've been teaching that we come here as love and light in the human body, and we come from that, originally from the God, the creator, and there's group consciousnesses or soul families, and we come to earth and then we experience. And we've been talking about how we can detach from the human aspect to kind of figure out who is who. They learn what the human side of us is and what the true being side of us is. And we've had that demonstrated to us pretty clearly, because Stephanie's been able to channel her true being, and quite often, I'm talking to Stephanie's true being, and I've spoken to myself through Stephanie, which is really amazing. But we've also had the opportunity to talk to a couple of other people as well, and they've spoken to their true beings. And so I've got a good idea of, this true being side of us, and how they, they view the life of the instrument that they're living through. And so I wanted to talk about that today, and some of the more common things that the true being would want people to know. So I just found it fascinating, and the big thing for me, now that I've heard a couple of true beings actually speak to their instruments, is that I'm realizing that everybody that's walking around, they've got this story within them. There's this light part of them who knows where they originated from, why they've come to earth, what their purposes are, what maybe there may be some patterns from previous life that may need to be overcome. And it's really quite amazing. So now when I'm looking at people walking around, I'm seeing them as these true beings, not the instrument itself. Walking around, they might have moody faces or whatever. They don't even realize that there's this light part of them that has this huge, massive knowledge about many past lives, and then going back into previous density, second density, first density, and all this wisdom. And everything to me is like clicking into place the way I've been wanting to really get to know. Like, I really wanted to feel that people look at people as if they were the true beings, that they were love, as they are. So I'm looking at people as love, not maybe what I might see on the surface if they were showing maybe anger or something else, but actually see who they are in essence. And so I wanted to talk today about a few things that true beings like to be able to say. I mean, it's like to me so exciting. It's like letting the genie out of the bottle, and the true being is so appreciative to be able to speak directly to the instrument and say, these are the patterns you have, this is why we came here, we're here to evolve, or these are the things you might want to know, or what you need to know to go into, say, the fourth density and graduate. And so one of the things was to do with the law of one, and making sure that we really understand that everything is us. Really, we're all one, and I'd like to expand on that more. They want the instrument to know that they are creators, they are in control of their life. But the other thing which I think would be really helpful for people to know is that the true being is always there, experiencing through the instrument, and there's never any judgment. So when people have had maybe trauma in the past, they've always looked at every experience through the eyes of love, the way you've taught us in the past, where we are having to, any situation that we're in, we can view that through the eyes of love. And so there's there's always forgiveness or compassion and things like that we can learn from our true beings, and as the way they live. So I don't know if we could talk about a few of those things that the true beings across the board are trying to say to the instruments. Say, for example, how every situation that we have in our life is viewed through the eyes of love, from the perspective of the true being, so that we can tell when we're being human and when we are being our true being. So things like, like feeling a victim, for example, and how certain patterns can come up in life that might make you feel that way until you take charge of say the human aspect and say, I am in charge, I'm the true being, I create, I'm in control of my life, and you're no longer feeling like other people have power over you, things like that.
Well, yes, you touched one point already. We're just relaxing this being mind. Yes, so the light within, that it is in essence you, it is what we are referring as the true being, which is really you without a physical form, you see, which carries therefore information of the experiences that have lived throughout its, let's say, existence. In form and no form, so all is recorded, let's say. There is no need to look upon previous lives just for the purpose of knowing everything about your own self, but rather, if ever looking back at previous life, would it be for the purpose of learning from that? And listen to other beings, reincarnations, are there for the purpose of teaching something that you might find similar to you in a way, but if it might resonate with you. So the point that we're making is that there is no need to, as your people say, to get too hung up on previous lives. Even though, of course, it is recorded within you. Your light, in essence, will carry that. But your light, the being that you are truly, is here for the experience at this moment, you see. The true beings and that light of all, that light that you are, which is the same thing, are all connected. Therefore, it knows of the law of one. But it is about the instruments or vehicles in a form, in this case human vehicles, to know that, to experience that, to be able to learn what the true within is and express that out in such reality, for the purpose of experiencing the truth of what everything truly is. Expressing that light within is expressing it in many forms, in all the forms that are possible. As we are all one, all the forms includes your plants, your water, your objects, and everything in it, which also means the other person next to you, that person that you don't like, that person that bothers you, that person that is annoying, you see, annoying, that you find, I wish I didn't have to work with her or him, and so and so. Well, they are all experiences in the surface. You are having an experience as a human. Well, you have your human vehicle. But in essence, once the light within you is fully allowed, you realize things that goes beyond your physical reality. And things that go beyond your physical reality is that love that is converted into many ways, such as compassion, understanding, seeing beyond what your senses might be able to perceive in a specific moment in time. A situation that you might not like to experience and you are experiencing it. You can get the best out of that. You can see what is the purpose of that. You can see in reality that is not even true. But since it is not true, but you are actually experiencing it, wouldn't it be better to focus to get the best out of it? Which means how you can convert the light that you are through your physical form and express that love in that moment. We have been teaching how to express the love, and we've been teaching through many beings, or a few people call them channelers, as this instrument to focus on the truth, you see, on what you are, and to be it, to connect to the essence of the universe, to connect to the light that you are, to God, the Creator, whatever label you want to have. Because by doing so, you also altering realities. You are aligning to realities that are of such frequency that are matching with the reality of who you are, with the truth of who you are, you see. Therefore, by doing so, your experiences will convey that love that you are, which means that you are creating with purpose. You are in charge. The actions, the reactions, the creations, so everything you go through. It is now done with awareness, because you are aware of who you are. But a part of that, it also requires the wanting to be, which therefore comes to the practical aspect, which means being it, applying it at all times. And the true beings within you is therefore saying to be allowed by the instrument to be expressed, to radiate out of its body, to grow and connect within and be fully expressed through your actions, through your way of thinking, through how you look at each other, and also how you look at your own world and your environment and everything in it. Once you discover that, and you can detach from the separation that one is different from the other, and have the realization that you are all one, you enter a new phase, you see. You are still living in such reality, but you are out of that reality, because now you are in a new layer, let's say, or a new frequency, which therefore help in your own world to continue moving forward to the fullest density of light and love. As the instruments are aware of who they are, of what they are in essence, and therefore you emit that out of you, radiates to others. This might not be seen as obvious, because many people might not be able, of course, to physically see all these changes as light, you see, coming out of you, or things like that, and you all look so bright and shiny and whatever. But there are so many ways that you can see that you are connecting to that within you. As you came here for that physical experience, the light within you came here for the experience of expressing its own self, the creator, through forms, through sounds, through this reality, in this reality. And the forms consist of your creations. What you create, how you express yourself, how you talk to each other. What situations are you imagining that you wish to experience? Those are creations. How do you see each other, as we said? What do you expect of the other person? When you are already building up, let's say, or creating a situation that you know that you might face in the near future with someone that you perhaps not like, and you start building up and imagining how the situation is gonna go, well, let us tell you that that is creation. And since you don't like that person, guess from which aspect or from which frequency you are looking at that person from. Since you are already having this creation in your mind of the certain event with this certain being, but because you have the label that you don't like this person, you are already emitting and creating an event that will reflect that. Which means, therefore, you might not enjoy the situation. You're already going, but because you have created in your mind how it's gonna be, well, guess what? It matches your expectation, isn't it? That is creation too. Now, and since you are in creating from that frequency, will that be therefore expressing that love within you through that form? Is that expressing? Am I really expressing the love that I am by already saying, well, this person acts in this way and this and this and this. Now I have to go through this, blah, 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 blah. Now, you see, I know what it's going to say and how I'm going to feel. And I really don't want to do this, but I have to do it. Creating love, well, expressing love through forms means not only forms in things you make, such as art, such a hug, such any other thing. It also includes situations, visualizations, and how you give that, how you allow that true being, therefore, to come forward and really express that to others. Because the light within you is so looking forward for that. To express that through hugging, to say nice things, you see, nice words, with meaning, of course. Truly meaning it. But giving a smile, but say, I really wish you a lovely day. Oh, I know you didn't mean that. That's fine. Let it go, because I have. Let's enjoy the now, you see. And whatever programs that you might have, or patterns, they are all overcome when you can look back at your past, present, and future with love. Because when you do that, you realize that there is no time. When you do that, you realize that the light within you, you see, is loving and have loved all the experiences. Because regardless of how negative or positive, if you classify it as, the experiences have been, there is no judgment from your being. It'll take it. And it will be thankful for the experience. But since now you're aware of that you are, therefore you can apply that love that you are through converting your, let's say, negative emotions, or the emotions that make you feel in a lower frequency, converting and changing them to a higher frequency, by letting go of things that have affected you really. By saying, I know that at that time perhaps I can see that, I didn't do the best, you see, or I could have done better, or this or that. But when you connect and you say, okay, true being, the light that I am, let's express that out, because this is going on in my mind, which is coming so often. I'm remembering this a lot, and so and so. And then you say, well, since I know I'm light, and since I'm expressing that I am going to express that to my own self, to my own brain, to my own mind, to my own vehicle, to the situation that I have go through, and say, thank you. The me at that time did what he knew, but the me now knows who I am. And since I know who I am, and I know that there is no time, I can change. I can change the one I was at that time by sending love and accepting the experience with love, and accepting that love that I am, and because I am it, I can give it. And since there is no time, I change that with the frequency of love. Doesn't mean that I have to change the whole event. I can do it if I want, but rather than if I look back, there is nothing there, which means what we mean is that there is no emotion, negative emotion attached to such events from my past, you see, because I have already changed them. I have accepted them as an experience that have made me now realize that to that experience, what a great opportunity I have created for my own self to express love through awareness, through this my decision making, through deciding to look back, or when it happens that I look back, to change the frequency of such event by now looking at it from the love perspective, from the light perspective, which therefore means that I'm connecting to the essence of what I am. And the same thing goes for anything. Therefore, you wake up. Now there is not a hassle to go to work, you see. To wake up early and so, because you can see beyond that. You can see that regardless whether the illusion that it is. What a beautiful illusion to be in. Even that you might not like to wake up early and go to work. Well, you know that through visualization, through the deciding, through knowing who you are, and through creating and believing it, that's the knowing. You can change it. And what a beautiful playground, isn't it? Yes, but while that is happening, I'm reflecting the love that I am by feeling at peace with what I'm doing right now, by connecting to the present, by appreciating my reality. Because that I might not enjoy, that work that I might not enjoy, but I'm doing it. It's the dream job perhaps of someone else. Or someone else would love to be in that position. Or doing what I'm doing, you see. And those persons, those beings, are going to achieve that if they believe so. And I can move on, of course. But as you are the love, the true being wants to express, is just going to express itself by feeling gratitude regardless of what job you are in, even if you might not be happy with it at that moment. But since you are already created, if you have created the desired job that you want and it is there already, you allow in that by knowing that it is done, and therefore you enjoy the remaining time that you are going through that experience at work. And that experience at work is such a great experience to see, or for you to decide to express that you are, to allow your true being to come forward and really express itself. But be nice to that person you thought you didn't like. To understand. To give your so-called time to listen, rather than just building up to a reply back, you see. To be kind, to show them, to show others that they are you, and you show that through your own actions of compassion, of gratitude, of love. And comment that they might not thought about it, but the energy of that frequency that you are in, will allow them to experience it at some level. Hey, what a beautiful day, isn't it? Or if you look through the window, look at that beautiful sky. That might not seem as much, but others might actually look at it and appreciate, and therefore build. Yeah, it is nice. Feel the happiness within, you see. The true being of that light within you, it is here to express that it is through forms, through your vehicles, through giving love to its own vehicle, through giving love to other vehicles, through your environment, to your world, through language, through words, and that includes your tone of voices and so, through actions, through thoughts, through using your tools of imagination, visualizing, you see, in all the ways that you can. There are no limits. But the opposite happens when beings focus on the things that they're not happy with, and they get stuck in there, on the mundane things, the routine, and they go in circle in a certain frequency, let's say, or energy, you see. And to go out of that, there need to be an awareness and a decision that you are going to connect and you are going to be that you truly are. In the no form, you see. Each of you are light, are love. You are us. You are the universe. You're God. You're the plants in your environment. You're others. You're everything and nothing, and both at the same time. So once the realization is there, that love gives itself and expands. Your own creations are created from there, then, from love. And your experiences, therefore, will reflect that. And that is you. That is the light within you. Doesn't mean that you need to exclusively channel in as this being is doing it, or that you need to, let's say, act differently from the point of view of I'm channeling, now I'm talking differently, and this is when I'm feeling happy, you see. You're always channeling when you allow that light within you, when you feel peace, when you feel love, of course, when you're enjoying your present, when you can look back, if you ever do, at your past and you feel ease, peace, happiness. And if you look at your future, which means whatever you want to experience, you feel ease, peace, and happiness. And when you look and you focus on your present, and therefore you feel ease, you see, you feel peace, happiness, love. And there is the flow. And you express that in all the human ways and non-human ways, of course, because that's who you are in essence, isn't it? Love. So therefore, love, the energy of you goes beyond your senses, but are here to express through your senses too. That's where your thoughts come, your actions, you see, your behaviors, your desires, all those things. Contemplating your beauty reality from love, appreciating your mother, your brother, your feeling the gratitude of being part of a family, of having friends, or having clothes, or your food, you see, experiencing the experience of your delicious food, you see. Everything that you have. Because in reality, your true being that doesn't see the labels, bad or good, and so on. So, of course, you know you're classifying as that because of how it makes you feel. But when that light connects to its body, or the body actually connects to the light and allows that, it can see beyond what it is, let's say, used to focus upon. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. It's just been a great example that we've seen people and with the true beings, just to see how they want to come through and live and say this is who we are. You know that we came through these densities, and if they're allowed through, then they live the way you said. They're going to be feeling that love, and they're going to be really in the moment and enjoying life, enjoying all of the experiences and things like that. So, because
it also is aware of the bigger picture, let's say. As you are that love and you meet that love, energetically, there are things happening. And you're giving that to your own earth. And you are connecting to other beings. And of that growth, other beings that might be not aware of it also become in touch with that love at some level. And then they allow more. And then they allow more, you see.
Yeah. And I feel like as I'm observing people, it's like they've all got this story, this true being. They've gone through the densities. It could have been wind or fire or rock.
Those things doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But the thing is, the person is this light, or this story, and there is this bigger perspective from that light. So we've also talked about how even in the no form, maybe agreements even get made where somebody who might be annoying or irritating or whatever might be there in the person's life as the term placeholder has come up a bit as well, where if it's not that person doing it, then it could be a manipulative boss, or it could be this or that, something there to overcome, to where the person in their form, the human form, has to overcome something. And so with that awareness that you're talking about, living as a true being, you see those events for what they are, or you just living, say, through the eyes of love. It just means that those events maybe are not what you think they are. And when you're getting caught up in those experiences, and not maybe as negative as you think, but rather it's a perspective you have from the human side. But that true light inside you that knows all of those experiences you've had in the past, knows that it's perhaps a pattern, and there may be agreements or situations that come about to help the evolution of the being.
Yes, we understand that, of course. But there is not even... Some people might identify the patterns because of the way how they feel when they experience certain events, or very similar events, you see. Or they want to, as you people say, they don't want to face, they don't want to go through certain things and things like that. When you connect with that light and you really becoming it, as we say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to know who you had contract with, or who had the role for you to learn something, or which place you came from, or if it's the first time, or whatever. You say it doesn't matter, because yes, those things help you for your evolution, of course, but once you allow that light and you realize who you are, regardless of all those roles, and whenever someone will be nasty to you, let's say, or in a certain way that you might not like or disagree with you, or you might find it hard to face a situation or things like that. And yes, perhaps there is something behind the scene, let's say. Perhaps there is this agreement or whatever, but it doesn't matter. There is not a need to know for that, but rather the situation is there. Oh, this is another great situation for me to express that I am truly, which I am aware of. You see, that is what I'm taking. I'm taking that if I experience something in the past that I can't let go because it's too hurtful to see, and regardless whether that was an agreement with someone or not, I'm just taking, I just have the situation or the people involved, whatever, you see, that is just an event that is great for me to really connect to the light and express that out to that reality, to that event, you see. What a magnificent experience that I can express that I am in so many ways, in so many times, let's say, with so many beings, in so many forms. So I'm just giving love to this. I'm expressing my love in that. And now, if I ever have to look back, or if someone say about it, I feel fine, because I've forgiven myself of who I am truly. Do that, you see, which means looking from the eyes of love rather than saying, oh, but it was this, but it was that, it was nothing to me, it was that, and I can't forgive it, and things like that, you see. Now at my present goes the same thing. Someone is behaving a certain way, or this or that doesn't go how I want. But if you know that you want, it will go how you want, because it's not a will, it's actually it's a is. You see, it already exists, but it is just finding its way to you, according to how much you believe it and connect it and allow it. Then you know it is happening. So what? Whatever is not working out right now, you know that it's just for the experience at that moment, because in reality it's going to work out, and not going in the future, but rather in regards of how much you allow it through your belief, through your knowing, you see. And then it's just gonna happen. It just match with the time, with the perfect time for you to experience that. And then to you it might make sense. oh, now I get why. Why they came now and not before. You see, what I went through these things.
Yes.
But it doesn't really matter the fact of thinking, oh, she might be like that with me because perhaps we had an agreement, or perhaps of this, or perhaps of that, or maybe she was a negative being, you see, and I should reflecting that, or whatever. What it matters is, since I have the awareness now, and I know that I am more than just a human being, and I know that this is the vehicle that I have in this reality, and I know that in reality I have no labels, and I know that in reality we are all one. I am one with everything, and I'm here to express that love. I'm here to be that I am through forms. Therefore, in this situation and in many others, I'm going to be that. I am it, you see. I am them, but now I'm going to, with awareness and conscience, with decision, I'm going to express that through my form, through my vehicle, you see.
Yeah, and there is that attitude of it's fun to work through these difficult things. So I know when Stephanie and I have just disagreed completely with 2 points of view, how the true being comes through and say, isn't it fun that we can try in the human body sort out or solve how there can be a unison in this disagreement? Isn't it fun that we can do that? Whereas we might have these dark clouds over our heads and be really angry, but it's more like it's just a fun thing. It's
but once you see it from there, then you realized that wasn't actually fun.
Yeah.
Or, let's say it, going through that help you even to see more. To see that regardless of what you thought that you to have different perspective, at the end you match at some level.
Yes.
Because you're saying, well, we can both enjoy the same thing from a different perspective, but doesn't mean that because of that we are not one, you see. We are just experiencing the same thing from a different angle.
Yes.
And since I'm you and you are me, we want to express love to each other, isn't it? So how do we do that? That's the point. That then people might not find a way. Or say, yeah, okay, I'm going to be nice to you, but you did this to me. But then you thought in this way, no, I didn't do it in that way. You see, I didn't say it like that. Yes, but your tone of voice, or this and that. You see, it goes on and on and on. And what it happens, and they're becoming part of a circle that just goes and goes and goes. Because they are talking of what actually happened, or what they perceive that it happened, but not what truly is in reality. An experience taken from a different perspective. Well, now since we can see that, you see, let's just love each other even more.
Yes.
Will by knowing that we are that love and that we are connected and we have different perception about something. Yes.
Yes.
You see, but we're here to enjoy life. So isn't it nice and beautiful that at the end of whatever we went through, we are actually going to enjoy life together because that's what we want, isn't it? Anyway, that's as an example.
As an example, and so in those times where things might seem frustrating or whatever, it's good to remember that the true being is always looking at things with love and finding the fun in things. And if there's a difference of opinion with that, like I say, it's a different experience. It helps with the awareness that you're thinking or acting from the human side and saying, well, this would not be my true being's perspective of this, where everything is a fun experience. I'm enjoying every moment that's on earth. But it's about us bringing that true being to the forefront. Whereas people might be walking around and the true being is there experiencing. Everyone's true being is experiencing everything everyone is doing. But is it in the background just taking the experience, or is it at the front taking charge and saying I choose this and really living from that true being? And that's just been knowing what the true being is and that attitude they have and everything. It's I just really feel a lot of compassion for these true beings who may be locked away somewhere in the background. Sorry?
Which are all of you.
There was just all of us. But, so some of us are evolving and we're in the third density, wanting to go into the fourth density. But there are others of us who are higher density beings who come back to help in this time. And those beings from the higher densities can be stuck here with that true being in the background, and they've learnt these lessons before. They've learnt about the unity of all, the law of one, and how we are all one, but now they see the separateness between them and other beings. They perceive that separateness, and so they're kind of losing that sort of thing through the human experience. And I'm just hoping everybody can sort of realize and learn these teachings that you're giving us.
You do that by helping. Helping by being it. And whoever gets in contact with you will feel that at some level, even if you're not aware of that. It radiates that out of you, within you too. And it connects to the others. To the other beings, you see.
Yes, I understand.
So, therefore, I will say, she needs some water, please.
Here you are.
Thank you.
That's okay.
We'll say that beings, whether they are from a high density or not, once they get in touch with that love, which they have at some level, but as there is more of that allowance, even without them knowing they are expressing that love, or they will express that love if they allow. And for those who are aware of it, therefore, we know that they want to be at service. And being at service also means being that love. Because as you are expanding that too, out of you. Expressing it in all the ways that you can, but also radiates energetically to your earth and to others. And whoever also gets in touch with you, you see. Because that is the frequency of what everything truly is. So therefore it goes beyond even the fluctuations of others, going through lower frequency and higher and whatever. Whatever you are even exposed to. You see, someone who feels, let's say, low, or a low emotion, or you say different how you're feeling. So, if you hold that light within you, and you remember that with no effort, but rather because you want that to be. You want to be that true self that you are without a form, but you're expressing it through the form, which therefore you have so much gratitude for that. You see, therefore, that does the job, let's say. To others, with others,
yes.
As they will feel that at some level. And then they might get in touch with someone else within that frequency of love. And then that builds up and so and so. And also the influence on your own earth.
Okay. So is there a way of doing a general summary of what a true being would want their instrument to know for those who don't have the opportunity to speak directly with a true being?
They speak directly in many ways.
I understand, but I mean in terms of speech. So those who have had that experience recently through Stephanie, who'd had a true being that said, we come to this earth to do this, and these are patterns you're overcoming and things like that. And I would like to talk about that communication that people do get, but maybe they ignore and they don't know it's coming from the true being. So as I mentioned, there was this, from the evolution point of view, this, I guess, wanting to tell people that there is that law of one and that they need to feel in unison and things like that. Is there anything, because there have been some things that the true beings have been coming through that have been kind of consistent as far as saying you need to know
because
this.
the light of you knows what you came here for. And regardless of specifics, you see, of I came for this, for that, you came to express that you are.
Yes.
And because you are in a form, you express love through form, which means form doesn't mean only to create something physically, you see, like that you can touch as an artwork or things like that. Of course, that is done too, but also, as we said, to express that light in all those creations and all those situations that you're aligned with. Because by doing that, you are actually becoming ambassador, let's say, yes.
Yes, an example. Yeah.
Yes, an example. Or you are being that you are really, you see, that light. You holding that in those moments, in these current moments, let's say, of changing on your earth, whatever go through. So therefore, you doing or achieving the purpose within. To hold that light, to be greater than the distractions. And the distractions could be things that are going on your world right now. Holding up the light with the knowing, with the belief that the light, of course, as you are, is greater and is stronger. And it is higher or more powerful than any other frequency. Which means any other frequency, such as suffer. You see, when you see suffering or pain or whatever else. So therefore, the being, which is the light in you, for its own process of evolution, but also for the process of giving itself to the current illusion at this moment in time, it is here to express, to hold, and to be that light that it is. And that connects to the visible and non-visible, the form and the no form, because you express that through your vehicle, through your form, but it is connected to that high frequency that you might not perceive, but you know is there because you are it. You see, so therefore, both what you see and what you don't see becomes unite, because you're expressing that through, you see, your vehicle, through your decision and actions and thoughts and ideas and vision, imagination and whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. It makes a lot of sense.
So you can do that with awareness by realizing how you are expressing that now in your present. And how will you feel if you ever look back at something in your life, the so-called past? If there is something that, okay, you feel at peace, there is ease. We're not saying that you need to, but for the purpose of giving your own self, being that love, as you know there is no time, if you ever looked at any of that, it also feels that love. You feel that love. There is no but, you see. But it was bad to me, you see, or this and that. You let it go. Because now you know that the love is stronger. It goes beyond the experiences that you have gone through. And since you're not experiencing that at this moment anyway, you see, why well, we know why, but let's say, would it be better, therefore, to feel that ease and peace whenever looking back at something or into the future? Sometimes beings look with so much anxiety into the future because of the unknown. They're not sure of what's going to happen. They're not sure of this and that, and they create anxiety and then worries and so and so. So if that happens, would it be nice to question and say, am I connected to the life within? Because as the life within knows that I am a creator, and I can create even what I would like to experience through knowing that I want is done. And in the meantime, I enjoy those things that I'm doing, because since I know that it is done, it's going to be converted in the perfect time for me to experience such thing, which could be right now, or in 10 days, or whenever, you see. I allow. And I allow by knowing it and enjoying the now. So, therefore, now I can feel the peace. Now I can feel that the future is great. Because I realize that I'm in control. Because I am a creator. And same as the present, you see. So whenever you are pointing at, as there is no time, you are going beyond that. And beyond each little situation you have aligned yourself to. By expressing that within you, in whatever ways you see.
Yes.
That you create. But it connects with love because it feels good. There is peace, there is happiness and ease, and you feel back in control. You see? You feel that connection within, that you can do this or that from love, that it feels good to help others, that it feels good to give a smile to others, to say how much you care, how much you love others, you see? Feel that freedom within to express truly that love that you are. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense, yes. Thank you.
Questions?
No other questions. Is there anything else you feel you want to say about this?
Thank you so much for bringing this topic in such way. With such examples.
I found it really interesting, actually. It's where you've been talking to us about this, from the start, to live as our true beings in the human body, but to actually hear true beings speak has just been extra eye-opening. And you might not think that should be necessary, but just for some reason that just caused it just caused the penny to drop for me. It's like, oh, I see this now. I see maybe a separation of these two things, the human part and a more obvious separation
you see that with your own self too. When you're feeling in this mood and then you're feeling happy again.
But that to me seems like here's me in a bad mood and here's me in a happy mood, rather than here I am connected to my true being and my true being is expressing, and the low mood is the human aspect.
Having in so many obvious ways sometimes it causes separation too. Oh, I'm not being my true being, I'm just feeling happy.
Yes.
Well, guess what? Happiness comes from that frequency of love, isn't it? And guess what? You are love, isn't it? So, therefore, as we have said, love, which is you, it is expressed, wants to express itself in so many ways.
Yes.
There is not just one way. But we understand, of course, what you say. And we're very happy and glad. And we're very happy that has caused something within you.
Yes.
as this being has also, of course, given herself to be used as an instrument of that love and light. And has expressed that in a more obvious way in some situations, let's say, for the purpose of also teaching its own self and those around.
Yes, that's been wonderful. Stephanie's actually channeled her true self, and have even been shopping with her as a true self and things like that, and been a great example of how one would live as their true being, what they would say and how they'd behave. It was really a great example where it also helped me to say, okay, I get this now.
Which you have expressed, you see, who you are, same as other beings. But because it doesn't have a label, oh, now I've been my tripping or not, you might not see it like that. But that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the labels, as there is actually no labels. What it matters is the connection it feels within. And how that it converts to your, how it's expressed through your body, how you feel it, you see, and how you express it. That it's being you too. And that radiates in the ways that your senses might not be able, what someone else, as I say, they might not be able to perceive it. Oh, but they get it.
Yes, that's something you've mentioned, and so it's just been a recent thing now where, maybe walking around a shopping centre, we've just been expressing love. And so to send love to people and radiating that out, because you've said it does make a difference and people do feel it at some level. So,
but you do it for the purpose of you wanting to be that.
And it felt good. I was doing that yesterday, just walking around, and I was just wanting to do that, not saying I should do this, I should do, but I was just looking at people, and especially now we've been this true being thing that I'm seeing everyone as true beings all of a sudden, and not the human body that I'm looking at, and just true being, and just expressing that love out, regardless of what people are doing, just seeing them as love and light and connecting to it. It just feels like a radiating and a connection with those people, and it just felt so good. The love I was feeling in my chest and heart. It's just to radiate that out.
We're very happy to hear that. All is well.
Thank you. Okay. Unless there's any other final words you'd like to say, we can end the session.
You are all love and light. You are connected. At many levels, as you are all, you see. In forms, and no form. And we are here to be at service of the love and the light. If there is any questions, we are more than happy to answer.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks for allowing us to come forward and give our thoughts about such topic, which is, we believe and we know that it is, as your people say, important, because this is who you are. You see,
yes,
love and light.
Yes.
We also say, as we do not wish to infringe on any being's free will, please take what it resonates with you and leave the rest. You are in control. And we are here to provide the knowing within. Then what we are. We provide that through speaking, through these instruments and through others. Speaking the love, the words of love and lights, and the information that we have, which is translated in the most suitable way through this instrument and others. And that light is also translated, as we have said, through you all, once it is allowed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, we'll end the session and we'll talk again very soon.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
We leave you in the love and the light that we all are. Have a wonderful experience.
Thank you.
We leave you now.